Many Malaysians who work in Singapore eventually face one important question. Should I apply for Singapore permanent residency, or should I continue working as a foreigner? Some people believe that getting PR is a must. Others say that PR is a financial trap. In this video, I want to give you a clear, honest, and practical answer. This is especially for Malaysians who work in Singapore to save money, build wealth, and eventually retire comfortably. This video is not about status. This video is about money, flexibility, family, and long-term consequences. Let us first understand what Singapore PR really means. When you become a Singapore permanent resident, you are allowed to live and work in Singapore without depending on an employment pass. You can change jobs freely, stay in Singapore during unemployment, and enjoy long-term residency stability. However, PR also comes with mandatory CPF contributions. A significant portion of your salary will be locked into the Central Provident Fund. Singapore PR is not just a visa upgrade. It is a long-term commitment. The biggest advantage of Singapore PR is stability. As a PR, your right to stay in Singapore is no longer tied to your employer. If you lose your job, you do not immediately lose your right to remain in the country. This becomes more important as you get older. In your 40s and 50s, stability often matters more than flexibility. CPF also forces you to save. For people who are not naturally disciplined with money, CPF can become a powerful retirement tool. However, CPF is also the biggest downside. Once your money enters CPF, it becomes illiquid. You cannot freely withdraw it, invest it overseas, or use it for early retirement plans. Now here is something very important that many people misunderstand. Yes, it is possible to withdraw your CPF if you later give up your Singapore PR. If you permanently leave Singapore and officially renounce your PR status, you can apply to withdraw your CPF balances. However, this is not a simple or casual process. You must formally give up your PR, close the chapter with Singapore, and accept the consequences that come with it. Once you renounce your PR, you lose your right to live and work in Singapore freely. If you want to return to work in Singapore later, you will need to reapply for a work pass like any other foreigner. This is where many people overlook a very serious long-term impact. If you give up your Singapore PR, it may affect your children's chances of applying for PR in the future. Singapore immigration looks at family history, commitment, and long-term ties. When parents give up PR after benefiting from it for many years, it can be seen as a lack of long-term commitment. This does not mean your children will be rejected automatically, but it can make their PR applications harder in the future. This is especially important if you hope your children may one day study, work, or settle in Singapore. Your decision today can affect their options many years later. Now let us talk about tax, property, and lifestyle reality. Income tax in Singapore is low and attractive. PRs are taxed the same as citizens for income tax. However, property in Singapore is extremely expensive, especially for PRs. Public housing access is restricted, and private property prices are very high. Singapore is an excellent place to earn money. But it is a very expensive place to settle permanently unless your income is very high. Malaysia, on the other hand, offers a much lower cost of living. For many people, Malaysia provides a more comfortable and flexible retirement lifestyle. So the real question is this: do you actually need Singapore PR to build wealth? If your goal is to accumulate 1 million ringgit or more by working in Singapore, PR is not required. Many Malaysians achieve financial independence faster by staying as foreign workers. As a foreign worker, You keep full control of your cash. You can invest freely, move money easily, and exit Singapore anytime without dealing with CPF withdrawal rules. Singapore PR makes sense only if you plan to work in Singapore for a very long time. It is suitable if you value stability more than liquidity and if Singapore may remain a permanent base for you or your family. PR makes less sense if you plan to retire in Malaysia. It also makes less sense if you want maximum control over your money and flexibility over your future location. There is also a smart middle ground strategy. Many Malaysians choose to work in Singapore as foreigners first. They save aggressively, build investments, and only apply for PR later when their career and family plans are clearer. PR does not need to be rushed. Applying too early can reduce flexibility and increase long-term complications. So here is the final answer. Applying for Singapore PR is not right or wrong by default. It is only right if it aligns with your money plan, your retirement plan, and your children's future options. If you want long-term stability and are comfortable with CPF and its restrictions, PR can be a good choice. If your goal is wealth accumulation, early retirement, and living in Malaysia, staying as a foreign worker may actually be the smarter decision. Do not apply for PR just because everyone else is doing it. Apply only when it fits your long-term life strategy. If this video helped you think more clearly, give it a like so more Malaysians can benefit from it. Subscribe to the channel for more honest discussions about working in Singapore, saving money, and building financial freedom without hype. Let me know in the comments. Are you planning to apply for Singapore PR, or are you planning your exit strategy instead? I will see you in the next video.